If you were around FNAF fandom in 2016, you most likely heard about a fun game called Five Nights with 39 made by, well, 39 Games. For real, you couldn't miss it for like a month, I'd say. Hell, even Markiplier played it and seemed to have quite enjoyed it. However, 39 wasn't just a mere fun game developer, he also had his own more serious series, Five Nights Before Freddy's, that actually preceded Five Nights with 39. And since covering two fun games seemed out on the boring side, why not throw one more popular one alongside them? They are all related in some ways, so I think it's the best to cover them all. So with that out of the way, let's start with title screen is obviously inspired by FNAF 1, but it sports this cool font, which does make it more interesting than most menus I saw. And also instead of just Freddy, we have a whole gang here. Starting new game gives us an option to pick a difficulty. Wow, that's something you don't even see nowadays, and this almost 10-year-old FNAF game just has it. Next page shows you how easy mode affects the game, but I will talk about the mechanical changes with difficulties in a minute, so for now let's just start the new game. For real this time. Starting night 1, we get a newspaper about Freddy's needing a night guard for their storage unit, with pay way lower than FNAF 1 had, but I guess we took it anyway. So we appear in the office. This looks like a discount Five Nights at Freddy's 1 office. No pictures, cheap fun, and as advertised in the description, no doors. Opening camera location has 6 cameras, but only 5 of them work, making this location that is obviously inspired by Five Nights at Freddy's 1 somehow even smaller. Oh, you can also use control to turn on the lights, but it does take a lot of power. And yeah, we also have power system here, but instead of using 5 bars like Five Nights at Freddy's 1 uses, we have only 3. And of course, Fungi calls us. He tells us a company welcoming and explains office mechanics, so I guess I should too. Tonight's enemies are Bonnie and Chica, going to the left and right door respectively. When they are about to enter the office, you need to use this panel I didn't mention till now, a power control hand unit. Apparently in the office we also have a generator behind us, and it is the thing that attracts animatronics to you, and with this panel we can turn it off and let animatronics walk through the office. And would you look at that, almost a decade before FNAF in real time, you are able to see FNAF 1 animatronics move. Bonnie just kinda walks through the office, but Chica twists her whole head around, which is a little creepy, not gonna lie. Night 2 introduces Foxy, who sits in the parts and service room. He will try to move out of the camera and eventually kill you, and to stop him, you need to use the camera light to delay his attack. So imagine a FNAF 2 Foxy, but you can never get rid of him and he's on a camera. Yeah, that's basically this guy. You can kind of alleviate him by using a secret technique of pressing Foxy's nose on this logo to display his movement interval. If this number is low, just flash Foxy to get him back to 10. Other than that, Fogary just says if we make it to the end of the week, we may be promoted to official security guard at the real Freddy's location. Other than that, not much happens, so let's just move to night 3. Night 3 adds Freddy, who is invisible on cameras, but announces his movement with his iconic laughter. After 3, you need to shut off the power and let him get quite up close and personal with you before he leaves. Which I did not figure out in time and got treated to a game over screen that is 2016 Fun Game Gold. Fungi, could you pretty please explain me how Freddy works faster next time? Oh. 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 Ouch. And I guess it's as good time as any to mention easy mode changes. So when easy mode is active, above the power meter you can see danger triangles that represent each character. The faster they blink, the closer they are, and when they flash very fast, you need to turn off the power. Simple, but a welcome change. And so after that death, I turned easy mode on for the rest of the game, because I'm weak. And yeah, this is everyone. I think you can tell that the gameplay is a bit repetitive with this cast, with 3 out of 4 animatronics doing the exact same thing, other one being easy to deal with. Yeah, this game does get repetitive on later nights. Well, okay, there's also Shadow Freddy, but he's essentially a Golden Freddy replacement. If he appears in the office, quickly pull up the cameras to not get booted back to the main menu. And Night 3 is also the point in which the plot thickens, as the fungi reveals an interesting secret to us.
One thing you probably want cleared up is what the happenings were in the past. There's a lot of stuff that hasn't been discussed, but there is the origins of the animatronics in this building. They came from the original Fredbear's Diner. That place is long gone now, it was left to rot. After multiple murders at Fredbear's Diner in '85, those animatronics have never been the same. How do I know all of this? I was only 11. This child was having a party. I wasn't invited because I always used to pick on him. But I always wanted to go to Fredbear's Diner, so I snuck into his party. I hid myself in the parts and services room where these suits that I later found out were Springlock suits. A man inside Spring Bonnie lured these kids into parts and services. I had hidden myself, but I witnessed 5 children murdered by this man. I just heard him call himself Uncle Afton. I think that's what he said. He stuffed these kids into these suits that are here with you today. Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, Roxy, and one more. I believe the souls of these children linger in these animatronics, and that is why they are so strange at night. They are forever trapped. Look, mate, don't tell management what I just told you. They will fire me.
Wow, that is something that I don't think I have ever seen done in a fun game before. But if we want to see how it will develop, we need to move on to... On night 4, the fungi tries to assure us that what he told us yesterday was not real and he was lying 100% so that he doesn't get fired. Night 5 is also nothing to write home about, it's just fungi congratulating us to getting to the end of the week, and that we are still considered for a position at the real Freddy's Pizzeria as a night guard. Anyway, after finishing Night 5, in a storm we get our paycheck for Clyde Sampson, but also 2 notes. One is from management saying that due to the heavy storm, grand opening has been postponed and we can work overtime. And one from what I assume is Fungi saying that he needs us to observe characters for 2 more days and that he will explain more tomorrow. And with that we get our first star and access to Night 6. On Night 6, the Fungi tries to explain something related to spirits inside of the animatronics before he gets a call and mutes us. Before coming back, not so happy.
You just got me fired. Thanks, Clyde. You have really screwed me up here. I hope those damn things get you tonight. I hope you're dead by the morning.
Apparently, we reported that story to the management, to which management promptly fired our fungi while on call with us. Great. Other than that, no one else gets added. As I said before, everyone just was very fast. Finishing Night 6, we don't get a paycheck, but what seems to be a conversation between Clyde and management. Clyde tries to report that animatronics are moving around during nighttime and asks for a simple checkup, which management does the most management thing and says that was a bad joke and if we report anything again, we will get fired. Beating Night 6, we get extras and custom night unlocked. Extras have pretty basic selection of characters, jumpscares, behind the scenes and story section that seems to extend past Night 7, as there are mentions of Clyde going back for another shift after getting fired and Golden Freddy. But before we touch anything more, I want to derail a bit and talk about Night 7. Oh my god, Night 7. So, maybe I didn't complain enough about the gameplay, because Night 1 to 6 is pretty fine, it's pretty good. I didn't encounter many issues. Night 7, oh my god, the highest mode you can set is 425, and it's pretty much unbeatable for me. I didn't manage to get past 3 AM. Animatronics move way too quickly and make circles so quickly that I am not able to deal with Foxy in time. This is just a RNG fest that I did not wish to participate in. 420 wasn't that much easier, it still was pretty much luck reliant, but at least it wasn't as unfair as 425, so I did manage to beat it. So, what is the reward for it? We get fired for still complaining about animatronics, and we get no overtime pay. In the background we also get Five Nights at Freddy's 1 newspaper to tie this game's story with the original games, and I think it's a good enough way to tie this fun game prologue to the official games. Okay, I delayed it long enough, let's talk about the final night. After beating 420 mode, you get ability to press Freddy's nose on the title screen, which triggers this to happen. only Golden Freddy is here, music has changed to this twisted version, and we also have access to Night 8. So, I guess we should go into it. So, after getting to the office in Night 8, we don't get a phone call as you may expect, but rather Fungi starts talking from the hallway, and thankfully he does apologize for Night 6.
Hey Clyde, I'm just over here in the east hallway. Reason why I asked you here is for your help. But first I must apologise. You got me fired, but I'm over that now. I didn't mean to be so harsh. When I'm angry I just go out of line. But anyway, you may have noticed that the animatronics are gone. They were moved to the pizzeria earlier yesterday. William Afton, the man that killed those children, is the new night guard over at the pizzeria. So we're here now. Not alone, Clyde. There were 5 children who were murdered. 4 of them moved, 1 more is still in the building.
And as such, Fungi decides to go explore the storage unit in search for the 5th soul, while we sit in the office. Seems like a fair deal to me. Also, may I have answer to how the hell did we enter this storage unit? Did we break in, or did management just forget to take our keys? Around 2 AM we hear the fungi find the spirit somewhere and tries to strike a conversation with it, which, as you can guess, goes terribly wrong.
Michael? Is that you?
Who are you? What do you want from me?
Michael, please.
Stay away from me, you evil man!
We are trying to help you. Just come with me. Come on now.
You leave me no choice.
Michael, no. What are you doing? No.
Someone else is here. I can sense it.
After that, the real Night 8 begins. So our cameras, lights and power controller get disabled, so all you can do is look around the office. From time to time, Golden Freddy will peek through one of the doorways, and when he does it, you need to look away from him. At the same time, the power gets messed up, and if you look at him for too long, he will set it close to 1, which will result in power outage, which is also the only way Golden Freddy can kill you. This night is pretty easy, once you figure out what the hell you're supposed to be doing. It took me a few deaths to figure it out, and every death was more agonizing than the other one, because there is no way to skip to the part where Golden Freddy starts attacking you, so you just get sent back to 12 AM to hear fungi die and then get another try. Which makes this night pretty annoying if you ask me. This was most likely one of the first times such night even existed in FNAF fan games, so maybe I shouldn't blame 39 too much for not knowing how to make final boss in Five Nights at Freddy's games. After getting to 6 AM, Golden Freddy thanks us for calming him down, and we get a perspective change. Now we are in office from the first official game, with text saying that it had been 12 hours since ground reopening, so I guess this is all happening the same day, and we are the purple guy. You can't do much in the office, the door and light buttons don't work, all you can do is pick up the camera to see the static, and then you get treated to a cutscene.
What was it brought you out here in the dark? Was it your only way of making your mark? Did you get rid of all the voices in your head? Do you now miss them and the things they said? On your own admission, you raised up the knife, and you brought it down, ending 5 children's lives.
Well, that would be quite a different story if Purple Guy died here. And this was Five Nights Before Freddy's. It was a pretty alright game, maybe even a bit simple with its mechanics, but it seems like mechanics weren't the focus of it, as the story does seem to take a center stage here. I would recommend trying it if you have a free afternoon. Alright, I was supposed to talk about the demo. Demo was pretty unstable, constantly glitching and crashing. It uses classic Gmod FNAF models instead of original ones. Everything looks worse, and you have enough to mask. And it's in 4:3 aspect ratio. So after the release of Five Nights Before Freddy's got a decent recognition for a FNAF fan game. And so 39 decided to reuse this Five Nights Before Freddy's framework to create his self-insert joke fan game Five Nights with 39 that exploded in popularity as I mentioned before. So let's talk about it. Five Nights with 39 is, as previously mentioned, a self-insert joke fan game released in February 2017. And since Five Nights Before Freddy's released in December 2016, Five Nights with 39 came out pretty quickly. And if you played the original release, you could tell this was made in a rush. However, I am not playing that original release. Instead, I am playing a 2024 updated version that fixes a lot of bugs, changes up gameplay a bit, and overall looks nicer. Alright, title screen, very simple, with 39 doing some wacky poses. And with background music that is quite a banger. Starting a new game, we get tutorials. I'm starting to see a trend with these games. Getting past tutorials, we get a newspaper addressed to Sam Clayton, who is just reverse of Clyde Sampson from Before Freddy's. He gets a message from 39 that he killed his son, and if he wants to know more, he needs to go to his advert studio and face him. And the second you load into the office, you will hear the gimmick of this game, 39
I don't know why it's
talking.
here, because it's merely a recolor of Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, which kind of exists in this universe. I have no idea how that makes f***ing sense.
And it's mostly memes, swearing, and old adult
I'm
jokes.
getting a big sense of deja vu.
Don't get me wrong, it is entertaining, but some jokes definitely land better than the others, and they do repeat quite often. But I will take this over some kind of edgy dialogue. To be fair, the dialogue in here is bordering the edgy a bit too closely, but I will still take it, it's okay. But from the dialogue, 39 is surprised we actually came here, as he didn't expect us to actually come, but does welcome us to his adverb studio, I think that's how you pronounce it, remarking that it's suspiciously similar to Freddy Fazbear's that exists in the universe and also has some meta-commentary on this being an updated version. And then he says he's just gonna walk around the location and occasionally pop into our office. And yeah, that is basically how 39 works. He walks around the location, randomly entering rooms, and eventually makes his way to the office. He will first stand in the doorway trying to spook you before entering the office, and the real fun of the game begins. 39 moves around the room, and to get rid of him, you need to boop him on his nose. Very simple? Well, at first, yes, but later on it becomes a pretty challenging task as 39 becomes faster. There is also a power room camera that 39 can enter and start typing something on the computer draining the power. And to get rid of him, you need to press, I'm not joking, spoop button to play a random sound effect. This never gets old. So, what else is there? 39 has more than one position on the camera, some of them more sexually attractive than others. Sometimes he says a meme or a sex joke, wait, I already said it. Yeah, that's a pretty basic gameplay loop. Listen to 39 say some funny lines, occasionally spook him and boop him whenever he enters the office. At least it's better than 6 horrors. And I think you can pretty clearly tell this is built off Five Nights Before Freddy's. Office is pretty much the same with colors changed and signs got changed into Tabby Blobber Pizzeria. Stage dining hall and hallways are taken straight from Five Nights Before Freddy's, backstage looks different, and only new camera is the power room. Yeah, this game doesn't really hide that it's built off a different game, but the fact that the gameplay is at the very least different between the two games does help in distinguishing between the two. After finishing the night, to 39's disgust, we move on to night 2. On night 2, while not mentioned by 39, his plush has come to the life and is out to get us. From time to time, Plushie will walk across the screen and the viewer on cameras force them down, and to get rid of him you need to press his nose to knock him over. But more annoyingly, he can also appear in the power room and drain power in complete silence. This is the plushie's most deadly feature, as the only way to know if he's in the room draining the power is to look at your power number and see that it's draining, or simply look at the camera and see him there. And he did cause a few deaths to me, because he either drained too much power, or he blocked access to cameras while 39 was on the computer. Did I forget to mention that 39 drains power while he's in the office? Yeah, it may not seem like it, but this game is secretly pretty heavy on saving power, or maybe more so defending your power. You want to deal with 39 as fast as possible whenever he's in the office because he's draining power, and you also want to keep your tabs on the power room camera to make sure plushie isn't draining the power. And the only real strategy for this game is to just keep the camera on the power room and spam that spook button to make sure the plushie isn't on the computer. And yeah, that's pretty much where the innovation for this game stops. Only 2 threads, and it's still better than most fun games I played. So maybe let's talk about the story then. I mean, there isn't much until night 6, before that it's pretty much 39 getting progressively annoyed at us coming back over and over again, and getting ecstatic for night 5 more than I ever was.
Woohoo! Last night I have to put up with your shit, Sam. Man, this calls for a celebration. I'm going to give you a fresh batch of insults that I have totally not pulled from the internet.
So after night 5, 39 thinks we will leave him alone because, well, the game is called 5 Nights with 39, so it wouldn't make sense for us to stay longer, right?
Plush.
So we come to night 6 with 39... enjoying himself before freaking out when he realizes we watched it happen. After beating night 6, we get a phone call from 39 himself.
Oh, hello, Sam Clydson. You remember me, huh? Yeah, of course you do. You're the one that uploaded a f***ing video of me masturbating to the internet. Seriously, what the f*** did you do that for? It was between you and me. You didn't have to put it on the f***ing internet. Seriously, what the f***? What the f***? Seriously, I didn't kill your son, it was just a joke! Oh,
Wait, so he didn't kill our son, and anyway we get access to night 7. Trigger warning for suicide mention, because after events of the last night, 39 fell into a depression and some heavy mood swings, and is also about to be replaced, so he wants to kill himself with a gun he found in management office. However, just as we begin the shift and he tries to pull the trigger, it turns out the magazine was empty, and that does not make him feel better.
what? Oh.
I did not expect such a heavy change in the, well, tone of the game, but I kind of like it. I like the direction it went for, and it didn't feel like it was thrown in there last minute, and at least had some thought put behind it. So beating night 7 ends with a cutscene. While trying to leave the office, the aforementioned 39's replacement arrives, called Accurate 39. He doesn't recognize us as a worker of the studio, since we were essentially coming here on our own will, and because of that he chokes us to death. Shortly after 39 arrives at the scene of the crime, apologizes to us for everything that he had done and puts us out of the suffering with a shot to the head. Wait, where did he get ammo? We then hear Accurate 39 kick 39 out of the studio.
Inferior design detected. Please leave immediately or you will be escorted from the building. But what about Plushie? Fuck.
And 39 is left stranded alone, ending the game.
Shit takes him away. I'm gonna get him. But I need to go into hiding and figure out what I need to do. Plushie, I will not wake up until you are safe. I'll be back for you, buddy. I promise.
Well, this got dark at the very end. We unlock extras and custom night, and the extras don't really have anything that special in them, they are pretty much the same as in Before Freddy's. And the custom night is really freaking fast, like, look at this.
This is getting so fucking boring.
Just so you know, I did not finish this custom night because it's a little too fast for me, but checking online it doesn't seem like I missed much. And I guess this was 5 nights with 39. Definitely not something I expected from a self-insert fan game, but here we are. The ending portion was definitely not something I expected from this game, but outside of that twist, that was pretty good. The gameplay loop is a bit boring and maybe a bit annoying if you ask me. Wouldn't say it's as good as Before Freddy's, but it's still better than most FNAF fan games I played, so maybe give it a chance on maybe some sort of call with your friends. And so, after Markiplier boosted this game's popularity to stratosphere with his video for a little bit, 39 started work not on a sequel to 39, but rather to 5 Nights Before Freddy's. I guess the popularity of 5 Nights with 39 also made Before Freddy's popular in some kind of ripple effect. Either way, work on a sequel to Before Freddy's began, and after some teasers, by the end of the year, it was released. Five Nights Before Freddy's 2 is the last FNAF fan game 39 developed, and a sequel to Five Nights Before Freddy's released on February 2017. Oh wait, so what I said about it releasing at the end of the year was a lie. Oops. And let me just say that this is my least favorite of 39 FNAF fan games, but to show why is it the worst in my opinion, maybe let's get to the game. Menu is pretty simple, the font stays cool, and the background now has a scrolling picture of woods and cabin. In the update you also can connect your GameJolt account to register achievements, they aren't anything too crazy, just passing the nights and doing a few crazy things. And settings to change music, and as I found out they are copyrighted so I can't even play it. As you can guess, starting new game gives us a tutorial for all mechanics in the game, so I'm not showing it. I guess it's as good time as I need to mention that there will be version differences because, well, this video was so long in the making that an update released and all of my original footage is now worthless because it's not the new version. So if there are any differences I will be addressing them, just letting you know. After that we get a newspaper detailing a truck getting shot down and falling down a cliff. That's not a job description. And in it were Freddy's animatronics, which were not found on the crime scene, with reward for anyone who finds them. In the original version there was also a small cutscene showcasing the truck crashing, but it didn't add much and I guess it's good that it got cut. After that we appear to be in the middle of the woods with a prompt to bring up a radio. Radio replaces phone calls in this game as we are not officially night guard but more so a guy watching over a cabin in the woods in exchange for not revealing something to our wife.
Hello, hello? Anyone there? Hello?
Yeah, I'm here. Christ.
Hey, enough of that. You wouldn't want your wife to find out about your little secret, would you?
If it's just gonna take me a couple days to watch a couple of robots while sitting in a cabin to keep you from telling her, then that's what I'll do. I apologize for my attitude.
Well, if that isn't suspicious, but I guess whatever we need to keep secret is worth it. After the call ends, we can walk to the cabin and begin night 1. In the pre-update you also had to play a small minigame where you had a small conversation with the radio guy again, which actually is missing now and I kind of wish it was kept. But the minigame itself was a filler and yeah, I'm kind of glad it was cut. Anyway, once in the cabin, I can finally explain the gameplay loop, which this time is closer to Five Nights at Freddy's 4 rather than 2. You start in the middle of the aforementioned cabin, able to walk to the windows on left and right, look behind us, and dash under the table, all with the power of WSAD keys. Or mouse, but I really only use keyboard for this playthrough. With the keyboard you can also turn on the flashlight with the F key or with the right mouse button. As you can guess, it has limited battery. Tonight's enemy is Withered Bonnie, who shows up in the left window. He starts in the background, able to be scared away with a flashlight to the face, but if ignored for long enough, he will come to the window, and to get rid of him you need to deliver some more light to the face or he leaves. Tonight he's pretty easy to keep at bay, but later on you will see. So let's move to night 2. on night 2, Radio Guys is trying to assure us that the robots are not haunted and out for us. Yeah, I do not believe it one bit. Tonight Withered Chica and Withered Foxy get added. Chica works the same as Bonnie but on the right side, and Foxy is behind us trying to yank us out of the cabin by slowly getting close to you. To prevent him from doing that, give him flashlight to the face. A weird thing that I noticed tonight was that for some reason Withered Bonnie has no thank you for appearing in the background, Chica has one, Foxy has one, why not Bonnie? But okay, that's a very small issue and there's nothing more to add to this night, so let's move to night 3. Night 3 code doesn't have a lore drop like we had in the first game, but apparently our wife is starting to worry about us not being home for the past few days and are also introduced to Withered Freddy. Instead of using windows like everyone else does, Freddy is a bit more cultured and is actually using doors like a normal person would. If you hear what I can best describe as scratching, you need to dive under the table and mash spacebar to hold your breath. Right now he's just a small annoyance, but later on, oh my god, Freddy becomes pretty much a game breaker for me. And since I died tonight, I may as well mention this continue menu that is pretty cool with those frames for every single night with a screenshot and a small story description. And yep, that is every enemy in the game. I'd say overall the cast is pretty balanced, you know, running from left to right, back to watch on Foxy and then under the desk to deal with Freddy is pretty good. If it wasn't for so many small annoyances, oh my god, this game annoyed me to no end. Okay, maybe let me start with something simple, because sometimes after scaring animatronics in the background they come to the window anyway. I'm not sure if it's a bug or a feature because it happened to me quite often, but I think this is a bug of some sorts and it's a bit annoying. Freddy can also sometimes enter cabin a few times in a row, which I'm pretty sure is a bug and not a feature, and tutorial graphic doesn't disappear for the whole night for some reason. And also this issue doesn't apply now, but in the first version of the update battery drain was crazy, which caused me to not be able to record past night 2 because this would keep on happening. Again, right now it's working just fine, but it really engraved itself in my memory, so maybe let's move to night 4. And we are late to the work because we apparently overslept since for the last 3 nights we didn't have a good night's sleep. And as such our boss is mad, but I'm not too concerned with it because the last mechanic for this game is introduced. The energy meter. Now every little thing you do drains the power. Walk to the window, drain a little bit of it. Move the mouse, I also think drains a little bit of it. Mash spacebar too fast when hiding from Freddy, you may as well say bye bye to that attempt. So the tip from last night about not mashing spacebar too fast is actually useful now, as pressing spacebar too fast causes a rapid drain of it, and you want to keep as much of it as possible because at around 30% your vision gets blurry and you start hearing your own heartbeat that makes it hard to hear other sound cues, only getting worse as you drain more of it, and when you run out of it, you black out and are left to die. This may sound like a logical way to make your game more difficult, to prevent players from running from window to window, because with the keyboard it's really easy, but man is it a game breaker for me. From night 4 onward, I either barely scrape by or finish the night by sheer luck. So what can you do if it's 5 AM and you are low on energy? Well, my solution is to run under the table. Even if you run out of energy, Freddy shouldn't attack you too quickly, for some reason he takes his sweet time. And you only really need to pray neither Bonnie, Foxy or Chica will attack you. Not the best solution, but it did help me survive night 4. Oh, and while I'm on Freddy, as previously mentioned, he can enter the cabin multiple times and stay on it for a random amount of time, making the drain even worse. Best tip I have for you here is to just not mash the spacebar the second Freddy opens the door. Wait for him to actually enter the cabin and then start mashing the spacebar. At least your energy waste won't be that high. And yep, this is the last mechanic in this game. This game has no more surprises for us, or anything interesting for that matter. There is no night 8 like before Freddy's One had, so how about I talk about unused mechanic? Or more so one that got deleted with this update. So, in previous version of this game, in the middle and at the windows on the left and right, you could sometimes encounter FGov's Boom cupcakes. Yeah, that guy's cupcakes. You know, the FGov's Boom, the YouTuber who does those animatronic impressions for quite a while now. I admit that I didn't really watch him. So, and now that I truly covered everything in this game that is mechanic related, let's move to night 5. On night 5, we finally get some lore. Instead of radio guy calling us, our boss, who is called Dominic by the way, calls us and gives us a speech that is so unhinged I cannot do it justice just talking about it.
Isaac, good evening.
Who are you? Where's the radio guy?
I'm Dominic, the reason why you're here.
Oh.
I heard you were 2 hours late last night. Not happy.
Well, I'm really sorry for turning up late last night. This isn't an easy task you've given me.
Just for that, your wife is gonna find out your little secret.
No, don't you dare!
And if you don't bother coming back tomorrow, I will find you, and I will kill you.
Ah, god damn it!
Have a good night, Isaac. Maybe you'll learn to follow directions now.
Oh god. I really screwed up now.
After beating night 5, instead of getting any sort of reward, Isaac starts talking.
As expected, I came home to a packed bag and a letter from my wife. She's leaving me. Dominic told my wife about my drug problem. My life is over. I have to go back to the cabin. Otherwise, I'm a dead man. I may as well stay there.
And we get a note from Amanda, our wife. Apparently, someone in the morning came to her house and showed her photos of us doing drugs? What do you mean we had been doing drugs? What do you mean we are drug addicts? I don't think this was ever implied anywhere in the game, or anywhere else for that matter. This kind of came out of nowhere, not gonna lie. And she asks us to not stay in our house, or otherwise she will call the police on us. That's more painful than any pink slips we got ever in games. And I guess we now know our secret. We are drug addicts. Great. But for learning that, we are rewarded with a star and access to night 6, the last canonical night. And let me tell you, the phone call and tonight's radio call is even better than night 5's. Just go listen to it.
Hey man, sorry to hear you got kicked out. Dominic? What are you...
What the hell?
You two idiots just don't get it, do you?
What did you do?
You better stay in that damn cabin, or I'll see to that your loved ones perish.
I will, I promise, Jesus!
You better, you junkie.
Oh god, why won't this just end?
Night 6 is just harder than night 5, so yeah, let's just skip to the ending. So we awake at the break of the dawn with a police car standing outside of our cabin asking us to come out. And on the radio, boss has few final words to say to us.
What? What the?
Well, Isaac, I didn't think you'd stick around. Any normal person would have left. Skip town, maybe.
What did you do?
Well, I called the cops. Reported that I found the missing animatronics. I needed someone all this time to take the heat for me.
You son of a bitch! You set me up!
I sure did, you stupid addict. Fazbear Crew deserves to burn. They will pay. My plans have only just begun.
You bastard, I'll kill you! No.
And the boss gets away scot-free with credits rolling. What an ending to this game. For that we get yet another star, night 7, and extras unlocked. Extras are pretty much the same as before, but the story section does tell us that Isaac was indeed doing drugs before the events of the game, and that's how Dominic blackmailed us into doing that job, and he apparently hates Fazbears. There's no real reason why he hates Fazbears, he just does, he's a big hater. So I guess the last thing to do is to beat night 7, and I'm gonna be honest, this wasn't that bad actually. Yeah, you still need to pray RNG doesn't give you Freddy 3 times in the row, so that you can still reasonably deal with everything else, but other than that, it was alright. And our prize for winning is... disappointment. Yep. This is all you get for completing Night 7. A FNAF 2 newspaper. Not even more lore, no nothing. It's just... I'm unreasonably mad at this, okay? This whole game basically had no ties with Five Nights at Freddy's 2 in any way. The first game at least had some kind of ties with that first game, being placed in a location that is similar to it and is basically a holding facility for animatronics, but this game has no connections with FNAF 2. Maybe it's meant to explain like why animatronics are withered down by the time they get to pizzeria, but like... Outside of the newspaper at the beginning of the game saying that animatronics were transported in that truck, and this newspaper, those are all references to FNAF 2. It's not connected at all. This feels like a fan fiction that was kind of stapled together to FNAF 2 lore. And not even stapled well, it was basically stapled last minute for those who want to complete Night 7. Other than that, the story is pretty alright, yes, but like, it's not Before Freddy's 1 good. Okay, I shouldn't get too angry. FNAF fangames do not have a high bar for lore, but like, I just want it to be serviceable, okay? Especially for a series that is meant to be a prequel to Five Nights at Freddy's. A fan-made prequel, yes, but like, it needs to have some kind of connection, and Before Freddy's 1 did it pretty well. So I'm just a bit flabbergasted why this game failed so hard. Okay, let me just finish this segment. On the surface, the game is better than the first one, and if I were to describe this weird trilogy in one word, it would be that it's alright. For a FNAF fangame that is from 2017, and after all those updates, I say these games aged pretty well. Graphics may not be up to today's standards, but like, I don't think a single FNAF fangame from 2016 really meets that criteria. Gameplay is very simplistic, if a bit repetitive in all three games, I cannot lie here. Before Freddy's 1 is definitely the most boring one. 39 also has pretty repetitive gameplay loop, but at least it's a bit better than Before Freddy's 1. And while Before Freddy's 2 has a pretty good gameplay loop, it also has the most bugs that really annoyed me to no end, so like, it kind of cancels out of good that gameplay loop has. And of course the story. Before Freddy's 1, again, very good. Solid A tier. Before Freddy's 2 and 39 on the other hand are B tiers. Not that great, but also not that bad. And I would recommend you try these games yourself to form your own opinions, because stealing opinions from people on the internet isn't that great. And this was originally meant to be a note on which I finished this video, but hey, why not extend the runtime a bit? Let's talk about cancelled games. Yeah, there are a few. For Before Freddy's, there was supposed to be Five Nights Before Freddy's 3 and Five Nights Before Freddy's 4, but both got cancelled early in the development. Before Freddy's 3 was supposed to follow the ending of Sister Location, which I guess is before FNAF 3, but I'm not sure, this was 2017. Either way, Springtrap was supposed to visit the warehouse from Five Nights Before Freddy's 1, and while there, meet up with... Okay, I'm actually not sure on this one. Fandom Wiki says it was supposed to be Sam from Five Nights with 39, but he's... well... But I also found this GameJolt page recreation, let's say, and it says that we are supposed to be playing as Ron Suskind, who burned down Fazbear Fright. And as such, I have no idea which one is the correct one. Either way, one of those guys was meant to meet Springtrap in there, and Springtrap would put us under a series of tests for some reason. Seems like it will be kind of interesting, but like, we only have this image. The fourth one has even less in it. Really, all we have is a rough story concept where two teens break into a baby circus entertainment building, and one gets captured by nightmare animatronics out of nowhere, with another guy trying to survive. Did 39 get an early copy of Ditophobia? Because it sure as hell sounds like a sequel to it. And for Five Nights with 39, there's only one cancelled game, that being Five Nights with 39 2. 39 already made a pretty extensive post on his account describing the game, which I advise you to read because it is pretty long and pretty detailed. And yep, that would be it for now. Okay, what I forgot to mention is that 39 did receive a semi-sequel, 5 Ventures with 39, that is an RPG. But this video is focused on FNAF fangames, and this clearly isn't a FNAF fangame, so that's why I skipped it. And knowing the nature of RPGs, I have no clue how long it is. RPG also has a sequel in the works called Five Nights with 39 Impurity that is currently on infinite delay, so sorry, but until 39 releases Impurity, this is it for 39 games. But I think more importantly, I enjoyed my time with all of them. Well, maybe expected Before Freddy's 2, but that's one game out of 3 that I played, and you know what? I'm just satisfied with what I played. Hi everybody. So yeah, thank you for watching this video. It took me a while to release, mostly because, well, studying sucks, man. It takes so much of my free time, and like right now, I'll be right before the summer finals. I'm not even sure if I'm really want. Do I really want to do this forever? I mean, okay, it's only 3 years, but like, I'm not sure if the course I picked is even right for me. But okay, enough about me. I really shouldn't have procrastinated this video for so long. It was supposed to release in May, but man, the end of May was just filled with exams. Even now, just right before the exam session, I still have exams. So like, damn. But okay, I finally released it. I can finally rest easy. And I hope you liked the new avatar I made myself. Yeah, everything was drawn by me. I used several references from a lot of artists to make it, so it's not 100% original, but like, general shape is mine. So yeah, hope you liked the big guy. You will be seeing more of him, with more poses, hopefully. Next video is definitely coming up, I'd say in July. Don't count on June just yet, because I have finals in the first half of it. But July, maybe. It will be a bit longer than this one, because, well, I'm covering an even larger series this time. Okay, I hope you liked what you saw. Thank you for watching, and hopefully see you soon.